What did you say? I look like a what?
Looking like a snack.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go. All right. We're about to begin. I'm with the queen here. You know, my queen. This is Saga 3. Words create worlds. I'm sorry.
Words create words.
Words create worlds and
and
worlds. Saga 3. This episode is about relationships. And sorry about that. We're out here in nature. That was a spider. A big one at that.
Should have left him alone.
I should have, but you know, he was getting up the ones. He was trying to come up. You know, as we're all trying to come up in this world. Nah,
a piece of hair on my cup.
So yeah, so basically me and my queen wanted to take this time to basically talk about not only our relationship, but more so our relationship and where we've been. I mean, this has been a trying year, to say the least. That's an understatement.
It's been a road.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, man,
sorry, you know how
there's going to be a little bit of vulnerability here.
Yes.
Because we're going to go ahead and dive all the way in. Let you guys in on, you know, our
what's been going on the past year.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to say necessarily failures, but I want to say more so
obstacles.
Obstacles, yes. You know, we had quite a few hurdles to jump. And man, this roller coaster has been
roller coaster.
Definitely been some trials and tribulations in this one. And it's not even really
thank you.
Man, it's not really just with us. It's been outside circumstances that been like weighing on us both, and we almost threw things away, or I'll say almost threw things away. If we're going to be clear, like let's be clear, we ain't going to sugarcoat this thing. She has a way of challenging me, and
as all women do.
Yeah, not always not always good challenges, but she has a way to cut deep quick, you know. And it makes me feel very, very uncomfortable at certain times. But, you know, there's growth in that. You know, I find comfort in discomfort, you know, coin that phrase. That's live right now. That's me. But you know, yeah, finding comfort in discomfort is definitely where I reside at anyway, because you can't grow without any discomfort. So with that being said, let's tackle this last year and a half. You know, I'll continue to ramble right now. I'm gonna talk about you know, where we were, you know, as far as becoming a couple. Like, we started off as really, really, like, I don't even want to say we was friends in the beginning. Well, we were friends in the beginning, but I was in a relationship that was also we were supposed to be exploring having a sister wife, which was supposed to be this lovely woman right here. And I didn't handle things the right way. Like, I didn't the correct way. With right as a direction. I didn't handle things in the correct way, and that ended up bringing my long-term relationship to a close, and a new one blossoming. But this woman right here to the right of me, you know, or from you guys' perspective to the left of me, I guess, you know, I've never met someone that literally was always trying to take care of me. Like, hit the mic, take care of me, like my well-being, my mental space, my just making sure that I ate, making sure that my goals were lined up and I was completing them, making sure that I was okay in the grand scheme of things. This was her. And at the end of the day, like the more she did this, I thought she was an agent. Like, I mean, let's be clear.
He
Like,
said, "Who sent
yeah,
you?"
I'm like, you know, like who sent you? Like, and I start thinking these wild thoughts. Like, I mean, you know, coming from the hood, coming from where we from, I'm like she trying to set me up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and there was just these times where it was just like it was so wild to me that she was bringing me food, bringing me medicine, bringing me not even just medicine, bringing me natural stuff. Like if I had a migraine, she went out and grabbed me ginger, honey, tea. What was all in that tea that you grabbed me the
I'm
first
not
time?
telling my secrets
Okay,
now.
all right. Well, y'all got the gist of it.
Just
What
know if you have a migraine, I'll charge you a small fee, and you'll get my little secret.
Yep. So she literally like I get migraines maybe 3-4 times a year, and they're debilitating when I get them. And she basically took care of me. I mean, she brought me food and the migraine remedy that knocked it out. And just it just was. I started to see her in a new light. Like I started to be like, who is this woman? Like who is she? Like and so then in turn like it was a debt that I wanted to repay, but not repay in the sense of like I owed her something, but in the sense of like whatever she needed, it was like, okay, I'm gonna give her some words of encouragement or some advice or anything like that. And that blossomed into what we have now. And just going off of that, like if you guys, well, you guys don't know because our business isn't out there, but you know, we went through she You want me to just go ahead and dive in?
Just go ahead and dive
All
in.
right. She was the first time she got pregnant by me, you know, she was expected to have four. So she was, you know, whew, that's heavy right there, just even thinking about it. But she was pregnant with quadruplets, you know, and they started we that was in our early bodybuilding days, and they started to form outside of the sac.
They never made it to the sac,
Okay.
so my body reabsorbed them,
Mm-hmm.
and then all that was left was the sac.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 weeks, they told me the pregnancy wasn't viable.
How did you feel when that like
um, Empty. Um, you like as a woman, you're pregnant and you build up this anticipation. You know your first appointment can't be till 8 weeks. So you're like looking forward to this appointment to hear the baby's heartbeat or to see the baby on the ultrasound. And when they put that Doppler on my stomach and there were just empty sacs and that's all I saw. I saw no sign of life in there. It was just like it was heartbreaking because of how I feel about you and how much I love you and how all I want is to have some something that you and I share. So
mm-hmm,
it's like, yes, you have your children, I have my children, we have our, our little nice blended family,
mm-hmm,
but I wanted something that came from you. And it was like gut wrenching to see that it was a failed pregnancy.
mm-hmm,
So it was tough.
mm-hmm.
It was real tough.
Okay. And obviously it was tough for me too. However, it was more so tough on me because of the experience that she was experiencing. Like I wasn't necessarily, not to say I was disconnected, but I wasn't fully connected into what was happening at the time. Um, you know, so and plus it was so early in the stages. But I mean, women that's out there, I mean, y'all probably will be able to relate to this, but y'all know that those emotions and those feelings more than what we do, you
Hmm.
know. So I think you were what, how many weeks were you?
I was 8.
8.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And that's our number as well. You know, that's a
Okay.
whole nother topic, but we'll dive into that in a few later episodes when we I mean sagas. Sorry, um, as far as our relationship grows, 8 is our number, both of our number, and we're that's obviously an 8 turn sideways and is infinity, and we're both always giving to people. There's people that are in this life or in this realm or in this existence that don't give as much as we do, and we're constantly pouring into people. But to have someone pour back into you is a different experience. So if you guys don't have that, I mean,
Find it.
yeah, find it. I hope that you guys would receive something like that on this plane, because the way she pours into me, like it's it's overwhelming at times, but most times it's literally a breath of fresh air, like for someone to literally hold you in such high regard and literally give their all to you day in, day out. Like, if you got, I mean, I will wish you guys that experience. And that's what she does for me. So, I digress, but, or not, I digress. I'm off topic. So I'm going to get back on where we were. So that was one of the major things that happened to us in the beginning. Then I got COVID, you know. Well, I got COVID actually before that, right? Yeah, I got COVID before that. So that was one of those things where, I'm gonna go ahead and let them in. I'm gonna let them peek behind the veil, you know, of our relationship, because that's what this is intended to do anyway. But when I got COVID the first time, um, she stayed on the phone with me to make sure that that I didn't need anything. Like, and if there was any inkling or anything that she could catch while she slept or while I slept, she would be there, like physically there, and also maybe call the paramedics if I needed anything. And a lot of you out there are probably like, what the hell are you talking about, COVID and paramedics and shit like that? But I used to snore really loud, but also just me being uneasy, she was uneasy with that, so she wanted to make sure that if the slightest thing went wrong, she could be there and respond to it. And so that led to us also being on the phone every night, like even just to the point where we wasn't talking, we would just put it on speaker. She would sleep where she was.
I love this man. That's just what it is. I love this man. I want to sleep with him every night, even if we're together, if we're apart. I just want to be in his presence every night. Long story short.
Obviously I love this woman, but that's what it was. And it was like, it almost felt like some high school stuff, but then again, in reality, like, I knew what it was. It wasn't that she was thinking about other women creeping into my life or none of that, because we have a different kind of relationship anyway. In fact, if you want to pick up real quick on, or should we not talk about that right now? Okay.
I don't care.
Okay. Well, anyway. Well, in the beginning of the this saga part, anyway, y'all heard me say she was supposed to be the sister wife to my previous wife, and so anyway, like, in the future we'll have another wife, but that wasn't the reason why she was on the phone. She was on the phone for my well-being. And you heard her say she loved this man.
He has tequila in this cup.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So,
just a little bit. I mean, we are at a campsite. So, but
mine's water.
is it?
No,
it's definitely not water. I'm gonna say, is it like she had ice in it? We didn't bring no ice. Straight off. No.
Tequila with lime.
So I got through the COVID, and
the
first time, yeah, and we continued working out, and then we started to travel, which we ended up going to our first bodybuilding show together, which was phenomenal, because I mean, she was almost stage ready, and I might post some pics or some links so you guys can see that too, but she was almost stage ready, and then we went to New Orleans. We went to Nowlands.
Yeah, we went to New Orleans, baby.
Yeah, I mean, we was down in New Orleans with a good friend of ours, Patrice. It was her birthday, but it was also Juneteenth, and we went down there to celebrate that. And then her luggage got stolen. Whereas
let me tell you how mad I
was.
was.
Go ahead, dive in, mommy.
We got to the airport. Everybody got their luggage. I'm just sitting there waiting, watching all the luggage go round and round. And I'm like, I mean, I had a basic piece of luggage that 20 other people could have had. That's not the point. At some point, y'all got that luggage home and y'all knew that wasn't yours. So just bring it back. They didn't bring it back. Monday morning, I called because we were there, what, Thursday to Monday?
Mm-hmm.
Monday morning, I called right before we were about to leave, and they said my luggage was there. I was not happy because I had nothing. I mean, although I had everything because everybody made sure that I was taken care of. Sis made sure I was taken care of. He made sure I was taken care of. I didn't need for anything, but
That peace of mind was gone.
that peace of mind was gone. I had
Mm-hmm.
some cute outfits packed, and I had to go to this whack ass mall with Forever 21, and I had to shop there. I was not happy, but it did teach me that you can have a good time with next to nothing. So I am appreciative of that experience,
Mm-hmm.
but I do not want to experience again.
Yeah.
So carry ons from now on.
Isn't that wild how negative things lead you to a better position or a circumstance, but you still don't want to experience that again?
Yeah, we just
You
came back
know?
from Orlando, and I was like, I did check my bag at one point
Mm-hmm.
because they said they was gonna have to anyway. So anybody that was willing to check it, could they please check it? And I was like, I didn't want our kids to have to check their bags, so I was like, I'll just check mine. If things get lost, they get lost. They're just things. They're replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
So
Meanwhile, she had a lot of cash in her bag, and also that was pretty much stolen.
yeah,
And you know,
it's my fault because I didn't put a lock on my bag. If I'd have put a lock on my bag, it would have been fine. But you don't, when you're in the moment, you don't think. Like I had cash on my person, but I had cash in my bag too. So if I would have had a lock, and it's funny because when we were leaving, I was like, "You think I should get a lock for my bag?"
and I told her, "Nah, we good.
We good.
We good."
And you know, in the back of my mind, I was like, "This motherfucker told me I ain't need no lock."
Yep. However, if we're gonna be clear, because we ain't gonna be on camera doing no back and forth shit, but I didn't know she had her cash in her bag. I thought it was on her person, you know, as my cash was on my person. But again, that's not to say that that couldn't have happened anyway. You know, it could have been avoided, but
It could have been avoided, but
but no, no.
I was trying to be smart. What if I lost my fanny pack?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
tried to assure her, like, as many times as I travel, I have no worries. I send the bag on, and it's wherever it's at, it's going to land, and I'm going to pick it up. You know, although or in Orlando this time, which is, you know, irony of this conversation is I was one of the last ones to retrieve my bag. You know, and it was like, yo, I was there, and as them conveyor belts was gone and gone and gone, I'm standing there like, oh shit, here we go again, you know. But I ended up being like one of the last people to get mine this trip. So I don't know, maybe in hindsight, maybe I might start doing carry-ons myself, you know. But that's another story. We'll probably figure out that later.
yeah.
But all right, so back to the story. So in New Orleans, you know, that was a lovely experience, and I met her cousin Jason down there, and you know, I don't want this to turn, you know, but Jason was he was the GM, right? He was the GM of this restaurant that we went to. What was the name of it again? I was called, yeah, what was it called again, baby?
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ads. I was calling it Eat at Joe's for like a year. This shit was not called Eat at Joe's. But I was calling it Eat at Joe's for like a year. And look at
I
that.
knew that bug was gonna land on your hand. That's so crazy.
That's that divine energy. She always tells me that I possess divine energy because I don't know if you guys seen the previous podcast with me and my brother Denovian Williams.
Why are you trying to land in my face though?
The cat came out of the bushes. We didn't know whose cat this was, and it just came right to me. But
landed on my leg.
Did it? That's because you got divine energy too.
Well, it's trying to land in my hair.
Yeah, but still, if it landed in your hair, wouldn't it? That's not gonna do nothing either. You know, feminine, the divine feminine presence, ever so present all the time. You know, that's one of the things in our relationship that she's becoming comfortable with, because she calls me Thoth, and she was calling me that a while ago, like, just because, I try to downplay sometimes who I am, because I don't want to say I'm fully accepting, which I'm starting to learn to step into that role. But she always been saying, like, you have so much wisdom, you have so much to give to the world. In fact, she's been telling me to do this, which we're doing now, for ever since I met her, and I'd call her mommy, my aunt, because she is my peace, my balance. Like when I'm ready to go off the deep end, she brings me back, and a lot of you women out there that are your men's backbone, we need that, because sometimes, like, like, I be ready to, I mean, I'll call it what it is. Sometimes I be ready to split somebody, like, you know what I mean? And like, and I'm not saying I'm this tough guy or whatever, but I know what I'm capable of, and she definitely can cool my jets, to speak. But where was I at with where was I just at, baby? What was I talking about?
I don't know, but
The divine energy. That's where I was. So that's another reason why we're here, out. And she picked this place, and this place is, the serenity that's around us right now. Like, it's second to none. And this is still the beginning. Like, we just wrap ourselves in moments where we just exist, and we just dwell in each other's presence, and that energy that we pack between us two is powerful. It definitely is.
mm-hmm.
But back to the topic, getting back to it. Um, New Orleans, like, her cousin Jason running this restaurant, Mr. Ads, not Eat at Joe's. On the sign, like in New Orleans, if you've never been there, there's a lot of places that says best this, whatever it is. Like, in Pittsburgh, you go to different small shops, and it'd be like best pizza, and it's like, really? Is it best pizza? Like, or you might go to Sharpsburg, or like, thank you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Certain areas where it's this best pizzas, but it's like out of 3 shops. And it's like, like,
best pizza on this side of town.
Yeah, it's like best pizza here or best this there, and it's like, all right, like,
best gyros.
This shit was trash. Like,
that lamb was trash.
You know what I mean? But we went, like, when you go down New Orleans, there's best crawfish, or there's best beignets, or there's
these
best
oysters. So fire.
Yo, the sign said best oysters. Go ahead.
So fire. I don't even like. Okay, so I'm a texture person.
Yeah.
I don't like texture. I don't like. Don't give me a sunny side up egg. Ever. Mm-hmm.
I love sunny side up eggs to be.
Don't give me nothing. Don't give me avocado, unless it's guacamole. For some reason, I need that crunch. But oysters just scared me.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Tell them what you was doing to them oysters, though. PG-13.
Sorry,
PG-13.
Sorry. These oysters was fire.
Man.
They're really good.
Yo, these oysters, man. And now I've had oysters at quite a few different places, but when I tell you that this said best oysters in New Orleans,
they were really good.
We have like 20 of them? 15.
No, he gave us a dozen.
Dozen? I thought it was 15.
No, he gave us a dozen, and he gave us
the red snapper, the crawfish, the alligator bites.
Etouffee.
How bro say it when we was at the
etouffee in the filet.
In the filet. Welcome to New Orleans, baby. But man, these oysters, man, they blow your socks off for real. Like, I'm old as hell saying blow your socks off. I actually don't even got on socks. I just came out here so we could do this video in the ones. Mommy got on the Crocs.
I was gonna change. He told me not to.
Nah. I wasn't prepared. We outdoors.
I think we're about to go on a hike.
Pretty sure, yeah, soon. I said pretty sure. I meant pretty soon. I'm getting lit.
I know.
Like right in front of the folks,
I mean, this is real life.
Yeah,
This is what it
absolutely.
is.
Not scripted, you
Mm-mm.
know. So after we left New Orleans, we came back, and it was a struggle to get back on our diet, for bodybuilding and everything like that. So
So that was June.
that was June.
Fast forward
Hold up,
to
hold up. I knocked your ass up again.
that's what I was about to say. You
Oh,
told me hold up.
you know,
You told me
excuse
hold
my
up.
language.
Fast forward to August.
Correct.
Boom.
Pregnant again.
Fertile myrtle.
Yes. Which was it was bittersweet because again, we had these goals, and it's like
I was in the prime. The
yeah.
prime of bodybuilding. I was super lean. I mean, I still had about 25 pounds to lose until I was show ready, but I was
Mm-hmm.
super lean, super on my game. I was very happy with my progress. I was focused. There was no turning back. Like it was just like you get into what am I trying to say?
A groove.
Uh Autopilot. You
Yeah,
get into
yeah.
autopilot. You're just used to doing these things. All right.
Godlike consciousness. Yep.
5 meals a day. I'm gonna eat this for breakfast, this for snack, this for lunch, this for snack, this for dinner. I was on it. And
Mm-hmm.
then boom, got pregnant. And I
Yep.
know what y'all are thinking. Why don't y'all use protection? What? Couples what?
No,
I
man.
know what y'all thinking. Why aren't you on birth control?
No, man.
I can't take birth control. I can't health issues. I'm not allowed to take birth control. So boom, pregnant again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, we're
Y'all
going
could be wondering my pullout game
week.
could be could be weak too, but no, it's actually strong. It's just, sometimes when you got that divine sacred energy exchange with a certain being, like it's just like, all right, I'm going to, I'm not going to. And so I blame myself for that.
My anxiety's kicking in.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, it'll subside itself because you with daddy. So, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. So y'all caught that? You see how easy that just was? Her anxiety was kicking in, and I said it's going to subside because she's with daddy. This is just that's divine masculine energy in its purest form. Not hey, you going? Nah. I'm very masculine at times, and but let's get back to what we was talking about. Um, she was
Pregnant
pregnant.
again.
Yeah,
Um,
and what's wild about that is because it's all the goals that we both were reaching. She was pregnant, and then we was going to go through with the pregnancy actually. This was one that we were going to go through with it, and we were naming the baby. We were thinking that we were going to have a girl, and what was we naming her?
little Aussie.
Yep, we was
Offset.
naming the baby Osset, which is Asar's counterpartner, which is actually my name. However, but we was naming our baby girl Osset. Like we felt the energy that that's what we were going to have, and then boom, I got COVID again.
This was
Yep.
what, like September?
Yeah, no, August. I got
Was
it
it
at the
August?
beginning of August, the first week of August.
Oh, he gave it to me too, but
Yep. We went to Kennywood with my brother and my sister, or our brother and sister, Bill Mill and Tasia, and we went to Kennywood, and I gave it to her there, and I did
I don't think
quarantine.
he gave it to me there. I think it just
You
started
contracted it.
affected
Yeah.
me at that moment.
Yep.
We were on a roller coaster and we stayed on it a couple times because it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't busy. I think the third time I was like, "Oh, I gotta go,"
Yeah.
and I felt like I was about to pass
I
out.
offered to carry her out because that's what your boy do. You know.
He did.
Yep.
He's not lying.
Yep. So and if you know where that particular roller coaster is, that was that black and gold one, or the
The
bus, or whatever it's called.
still
Still
curtain.
curtain. And I was gonna carry her from there to because I had a 55-inch back, you know.
Big.
You know what I mean? It's coming back, but yeah, That was pretty
I
goddamn
said,
wide. I remember
ooh,
we were, we was leaving the hotel the one day, and I actually had on this shirt. Matter of fact,
big
you
ass
know,
back.
yep. And this one old head that used to lift weights was at the hotel with us, and he was like, "Damn, bro," he's like, "You got a 55-inch back," and I was like, "I don't know, I ain't measure it," but then eventually I did, and it was definitely somewhere around there. It wasn't quite 55, but it was there. It was a plasma screen,
It was huge.
and we're talking about my back, you know, but
Wasn't nobody even thinking like that. You
you be thinking like that all the time.
not at that moment. Now I am.
I get my gift every now and then where I could come in and throw a sexual innuendo in there because
Innuendos.
mommy be on it. Sometimes I be
Yes, I
feeling
do.
like I be feeling like
Yes, I
I be
do.
off that game. But anyhow, yeah, I ended up with COVID again, and I'm working out. I'm trying to get through these workouts, and they getting longer and longer and longer, and I'm sweating, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I ain't no bitch.
So after, what, like a couple weeks passed,
Couple weeks
he still
passed.
has this lingering cough. I mean, like bronchial. Like I'm like, I got bronchitis. Like, what the I'm like, babe. So I had to threaten him a little bit.
She did.
I was like,
There's that
listen,
that feminine
I'm an
energy.
alpha.
Yeah, she's definitely
I
an
am very
alpha.
submissive with him, but I
Mm-hmm.
am an alpha female. So I said, listen, babe, either you're going to go to the emergency room and you're going to see what's going on with you because there's no way you had COVID a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
You still got this lingering cough. I said, you're either going to go to the emergency room or I'm going to pay for you to go to Med Express. And I know you don't want me to pay this $150 fee to go to Med Express. He was like, I'm going to go to the emergency room.
Compromised.
And thank goodness. Oh, what's that?
That's a wisp. That's that divine.
That's beautiful.
Feminine energy right there.
Why won't it land on me?
It's just checking you out. Look, it's coming back. It's coming back. Look, told you. Look, yep. It's like, yeah, not quite yet.
So he went to the ER.
Mm-hmm. Needless to say, I didn't leave that motherfucker either.
He did not leave. So I'll let you speak on this part.
So as she was saying, literally she threatened me, and but it was a good threat because it was she didn't threaten me. Let's be clear. She cared, and out of her nurturing nature, she was like, yeah, you're going to go.
Can I interject real
Go ahead.
quick?
Absolutely.
So it was to the point where he was coughing, and his cough was so bad, and he was short of breath. He could not breathe. He could not walk up the steps without getting short of breath. He could not walk from the couch to the door without getting short of breath. So like I was concerned. He wasn't sleeping at night. The pain was moving from his chest to his stomach. He was hurting, and I can't bear to see you in pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, listen, you don't go to this you don't go to this emergency room or I'm gonna pay for this visit to Med Express. So yes, I did threaten him.
I tried to clean that up. She threatened me.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely did. And I went the next morning after that threat. I went, and needless to say that I had COVID again or whatever, or no, I had pneumonia.
He had pneumonia. The COVID turned into pneumonia.
Yeah.
And bronchitis too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then congestive heart failure. And boom.
That's not how it happened though.
How'd it happen?
Turned into pneumonia. They gave him an antibiotic, sent him home.
Oh,
After he finished the antibiotic, came right back. They did not give him the right antibiotic because specific antibiotics treat specific things. So what, like 2 weeks later,
Mm-hmm.
you went back to the ER. They said, oh, you're fine. Sent you back home.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2 days later, you went to another ER
Mm-hmm.
to get a second opinion. They said, oh.
I went to Presby.
Yeah.
Yep.
They said, oh, you have congestive heart failure.
Mm-hmm. My heart, I think it's called ejection fraction, was 25%. And
15 to 18%.
well, the first time it was 25. Remember, it got worse because
Oh yeah.
remember I went dark. I'm usually a positive person and spreading love and energy and positivity and rainbows and lollipops and everything to everyone. But I got to the point where it was just like, it was like almost to the point where I just was like, all right, well, if this is what it is, like I was comfortable with who I am, but I wasn't being fair to my family and friends. And I went dark to the point where it wasn't no resentment. It was more so I was like, I'm satisfied. And that's going to be another topic that we're going to talk about in the future about like being content and how dangerous that could be. Because I know you guys might be watching this or listening to this and digesting this, but like I was literally at a point where I was comfortable, and whatever what happened was going to happen, and it was very selfish of me. And that's what she pointed out.
Yeah,
Like,
because I was not comfortable with that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was not. I was fighting for you
yeah,
because I
yep.
couldn't. You get to, you find the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, and you just know you're so confident that this is it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need nobody else, and
Or want, right?
or
Or
yeah,
want.
or want. Rar. I don't want nobody else. I don't need nobody else. And you just went to this very dark place. And mind you, at the time I was still pregnant.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was, I started a new job. He was in a hospital. I couldn't even get off work because I couldn't call off. I couldn't take no time off. If I missed so many hours, I would have lost my job. I was in training. Like I could not leave.
And she was ready to say, fuck this
I
job.
was about
Like,
to.
actually, she wasn't ready. She tried to. I convinced her to stay there.
I was like, where I need to be is with you. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll find another job. I'm not going to find another you.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, no, don't
That's
do that.
debatable. Sorry. I mean, if I'm
I ain't
being,
gonna find another him.
I mean, in a sense, like, yes,
No.
she's right. She's not going to find another me, but the divine energy that I carry with myself, I believe that she would find that because that is already in her. Bar.
Okay, well, I don't want anybody else.
Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Cause this dude right here. Anywho, so I was in training, couldn't leave work, and you're in the hospital, just like
Day in,
they
day
have to
out.
do this. We have to do this procedure. We have to do this procedure, and I'm like, I should be there with you.
Mm-hmm.
In the midst of all that, I finally got my first doctor's appointment because they were so backed up, I couldn't get in.
Mm-hmm. Was I there?
You did?
Did I
Come.
make it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he was out the hospital because there was nothing they could do. They put him on all his medicines. They had him on another medicine, but this particular medicine cost what, $243 a day.
Yeah, and then it ended
That
up being like 180 per day, which went into like my bicep. It was called a PIC line. I don't remember what this medicine was called, but it'll hit me later.
it
But
would have helped his heart get stronger.
yeah, it dripped a medicine right directly to my heart, and it was $180 a day, and I didn't have insurance because I left my previous job to go run another company, which was, we ain't even gonna dive into that, but yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't
So
have insurance, is what I'm saying. We were paying that out of pocket.
at the end of the day, we decided to take the natural route
Mm-hmm.
and heal him with herbs and foods and all that good stuff.
Which was the
Supplements.
best decision
Because
because
look at him, look at that bicep. Go ahead, do it again.
a little something,
Look at that bicep.
it's coming back.
So in the midst of all this, my 14-week appointment, we go to the hospital and go to my doctor's office. They do the ultrasound. We're super excited. We get to see the baby. I already posted it on Instagram because the first time I was like, I'm glad I didn't post nothing because we had a miscarriage. The pregnancy wasn't viable. And then this time I'm like, well, I'm posting a picture. I got this little 4-month baby bump. I'm looking cute. I'm gonna let the world know
Right.
we
Right.
bringing life into this world.
Together.
And at this 14-week appointment, they're like, oh, are you sure you're 14 weeks? I said, what's wrong? And I
Immediately.
could tell, like, I'm very good on reading the room.
Yeah.
And she started getting teary-eyed, and I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like,
No heartbeat.
I'm not hearing the baby's heartbeat. So maybe you're not as far along as you thought. I said, I know exactly when I conceived. I know exactly how far along I am.
She did.
And she was like, well, I'm gonna send you down to ultrasound so we can be sure. Maybe it's just off. Okay. He's over here like, no, it's gonna be fine, you know, because he gives that divine energy, and he always fills me with such positivity. It's like, it's gonna be fine, baby. I'm like, all right, because I believe what you're saying. You know, it's gonna be fine. We go down. She puts the Doppler on my stomach. I'm so sorry, and I'm just like, defeat again.
Yeah.
And it was like, she said, I'm so sorry. The baby's heart stopped at 9 weeks and 5 days. So I'm carrying this baby for what? Almost 4 weeks? And it's not even alive. And they're like, well, same thing again. You're going to have to get a D&C. Your body's not miscarrying the baby naturally. So we're going to have to do a procedure and suction the baby out.
Heartbreak.
Again. It was like,
start feeling like you're cursed, you know, because of decisions that were made or whatever. You start letting these outside forces, you know, come into your personal space and your inner sanctum and lead you to believe that maybe you're doing something wrong.
And it's not just that. It's like, what am I trying to say?
I'm usually good at finishing her sentences, but right now I'm not.
I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna sip this tequila.
Yep. Casamigos, if you're wondering. In case you was wondering.
What the hell was I about to say?
This is a mosquito that's just hovering around me. I see the dragonflies around.
I don't remember.
I was talking about curse, you know.
The thoughts that were in my head was like, well, what's wrong with me?
Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with me. I'm joking.
Like, are we not meant to have a child together?
Right.
Or that's what it is. I worked so hard on my bodybuilding journey, and I was so close to where I needed to be to do a show. And then it was like, I went through all that and I had nothing to show for it. It was like, I gained 20 pounds back. I ain't got a baby to show for it. I'm just out here, same size I was when I started. And it's just like, not only do I feel that, I feel a sense of emptiness. I feel a sense of defeat. I feel like I'm not good enough. And then I'm like, well, if I can't offer him a child, if I can't pass on his legacy, if I can't bring an heir into this world, what good am I? You know what I mean?
And like, that's the shit right there, literally, that hurted me, because if you guys knew this woman, if you guys knew her just a little bit, you would be like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, I won't say everything who I am is because of her, but like, man, like if there was any time that I was gonna snap on somebody or do some things that for certain people that deserve it, she literally saved you guys. Like, again, like, I preface that with not trying to say like I'm some sort of bad person, because I'm not, but like, there's people that press my buttons, or because I'm a certain way or I walk a certain path that I won't revert back to like my warrior nature. And hey, I'm here to say like I'm I'm a warrior in the garden, not a gardener in the war. You know what I mean? Like, so with that being said, like she is my balance, like, you know what I mean? So she already provides, she's already enough, if not more than enough. So to hear her go through these thoughts and to go through these things, like I can't a man, we don't feel what the woman is feeling. Like they have that divine sense of nature that they're connected. The intuition is real. Like that's who they are. Like I have intuition as well, but it's more so guided by, or it's under the guise of being just naturally bright. Like, you know what I mean? But to be intuitive with what actually is taking place around, like I could walk into a room and feel the energy immediately. She doesn't have to walk into the room. Bar. You see the difference? Like she doesn't have to walk into the room. She knows the room before she walks into it. I have to walk into it and feel it, and where my quote unquote spidey senses start to tingle, and I'm like, something's not right here. You know what I mean? So that's the difference between having a woman that's connected versus a man. And for her to feel like she's not enough, like it frustrated me and it also hurted me that like she felt that way. You know what I mean? So naturally, the different degree of that is I try to go out my way to make her feel like, or to make her see that she is more than worth it. And then that's when the dysfunction started to happen, because not only I'm just gonna dive in.
Go ahead.
You know,
You want to refill?
Nah, I'm good.
I'm not allowed to get up on camera.
Nah, not at all. There ain't no outtakes. We doing this thing live.
I ain't
Here, you can take my
the
last
camera's
little
still
bit.
running.
The camera's running.
How you know?
Or we gonna just trust it because I feel that it's running.
He didn't even give me that much.
I gave her a sip.
I was like, I only got two.
No, if you want to go grab some, go grab some. Because I'll finish talking. It's just I didn't want you to miss this.
I'll be
this
right
message.
Back.
All right, go ahead. Right go ahead.
You want some?
Nah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. But where was I at, guys?
You was talking about my intuition.
Don't be looking at my woman's ass either. Nah, you can walk. You can look. But her divine energy, her intuition, like when she felt like she was not enough, I wouldn't accept it. Like, and I was expecting her to be strong because, first of all, she's not on camera to hear this, but I told her to her face, like, she landed me. Like, so take a moment to digest that. Like, let that resonate. She landed me. So which means is the strength in her it's present. It's always ever so present. Like, she got me, so with that being said, like going through the heart failure and me being dark and then her having a miscarriage or us having a miscarriage, it was like, damn, like, oh, you know what? And I'm gonna wait for this for her to come back out, because this part right here is about to get pretty deep, because I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say before I got diagnosed with heart failure, you know what? I'm gonna wait till she comes back. Just bear with me a moment. I think she come right now. So I was just about to get to the point where before I got heart failure, didn't so remember I was telling you guys we went to Nolan's, right? And we was with her cousin down there, and was it before I got diagnosed with heart failure that I told you to call Jason? Or did I have heart failure already?
I think you had it already.
Okay. I told her to call her cousin Jason because he was in my thoughts, and like I never met a guy that just like, I don't want to say he fell in love with me too, but I feel as though he did, because we didn't pay for shit when we was down there when we was with him. Like, he took care of the bill everywhere we went. And then he gave us a tour through New Orleans, where not that it wasn't touristy. It was like the real New Orleans. Yeah, like, and and we just loved it. And we spent time with him, like, and needless to say, he ended up suffering a heart attack in Walmart, right? Was it Walmart?
I don't remember. Walgreens.
Walgreens or Walmart. It was one of them, and he passed away. And I had just told my baby to reach out to him, to
And you know the regret I felt because I didn't.
correct. And I think she didn't because of everything that I was going through. It was just like,
I'm just not I'm not a person. I feel like I'm always the one reaching out. Like I'm
mm-hmm,
always the one that texts first. I'm always the one that calls first. I'm always the one that's trying to make a point to link up. And it was just like, and granted that has nothing to do with family. I should always be checking on my family, but it was just like he said, "Yeah, you should reach out and see how he's doing." I said, "You know, I don't like talking on the phone."
mm-hmm.
And it would have been as simple as just texting.
But the kicker was you said that you was going to too. Remember when we had that conversation? She was like, okay, I'm gonna reach out
Yeah.
tomorrow, or I'm gonna reach out this week. And then we got the call where, he was no longer with us. He was amongst the ancestors, and it was just like, man, it was a heavy blow, and so then there was that we went through, and I just met this man when this man was just like, you know what I mean? Like, he was literally like, he just was awesome. Like, he wanted us to have the best experience every time we was around him.
Yeah, he had a great spirit.
know?
He,
Yeah.
great
And
personality.
then I got into my selfish bag where it felt like, damn, like I just met this new great guy and now he snatched from me. And then now I'm feeling like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get too much into my feelings, but I felt like I was cursed. And now I'm in her life and I'm bringing my baggage from previous experiences that sort of caused this to happen, which is ridiculous when you think about it. But that's where I was mentally. I'm like, damn, like, it's like it just went wrong. You know what I mean? And I felt blame for that. I felt,
It's hot out here.
some sort of, yeah, it is. I felt some sort of way about it, and anyway, I started to get better, and then I got out of the hospital, and when I got out of the hospital, it was 2 days after Thanksgiving last year, so 2022. I got out 2 days after Thanksgiving. Well, not a full 2 days.
I
but
brought him a plate.
yeah.
I think I was the only one that came and saw him.
No, Billy did too. Yep.
Billy, you don't count. We know you always look
that's
out.
True.
Like,
That's true.
bro, sis, y'all don't count. We ain't talking about y'all. But I was the only one that came to see him. Brought him a plate, as I should.
Fire.
I'm rambling. Sorry.
No, you're not.
It's the Casamigos.
I destroyed this plate, and I wasn't supposed to have it. She knew I wasn't supposed to have it, but I made her make me have it because it was like, yo, like we don't celebrate holidays, but we understand where we are, and certain family members, they still partake in those holidays and stuff like that. And there was food available, so she brought it to me, and I destroyed it, and I got out, like, again, I got out 2 days after Thanksgiving, and started physical therapy like a week and a half after I got out, or was it 2 weeks? It was 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I started December 16th, and I got out of the hospital. Whatever Thanksgiving was
November,
last
it was like
year.
November 25th or something.
Yeah,
like that.
So it might have been a little longer than 2 weeks, but I was the youngest person in these facilities with heart failure, and I even resented that because having these conversations with older folks and like, why are you here? And it just was like, I mean, it was, when you think about it, at the end of the day, it was like, I'm here because of what I'm here for, and they didn't make me feel like, I don't want to say welcome, but they didn't make me feel like I was going to live any longer, because the more that they kept harping on, why are you here? You're 37 and we're 60. 987 100, like, you know what I mean, like all these different people was in there, and all they kept talking to me about was having an LVAD, and then getting a pacemaker, and then I was on the heart transplant list, and all of these
Yeah.
things that I'm battling, but like I'm not gonna say I was like super strong, but like, you know, it was just like I didn't accept it, you know, at all.
Are we gonna talk about how you try to push me away?
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I was
Yep.
just, you know,
Yeah, we'll
I
definitely
was just
get
making
into
sure
that.
we
Yep.
cover all the
Um,
bases.
yeah, we'll cover it, you know. Um, so before I was so rudely interrupted, no, I'm just
Whatever.
but yeah, I was the youngest one there. I think the closest one to my age was 68, you know what I mean? And at the time I was 37, you know, and of course I had underlying issues and things like that. So yeah, so that put me there. And then I asked the doctors, could I work out? And they kept telling me no. Do physical therapy, take the medicine, you'll be all right. I'm like, I'll be
And
all right.
that was a really tough time because you really had to humble yourself in a sense.
Did I though? Did
Yeah.
I have to humble myself, or did I have to become more of myself? Because we got to put it in proper perspective.
You right.
You know,
You right.
humble yourself means be less of yourself.
You're right.
You know.
So to
Go
have
ahead, baby.
to, because you were in this bodybuilding phase,
Oh,
I'm saying
okay.
humble yourself
Yeah, I
in
see
that
what you
sense.
mean. Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're going from, shoulder pressing 100-pound dumbbells or however much, might have been 120s,
yeah. It was about 120s.
to having, they're like, you can't lift more than 5 to 10 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's having to humble yourself because you're like,
Yeah, yeah. You're right.
what you
Yep.
mean? Like,
What you
I got a
mean?
55-inch plasma on the back of my back.
Right.
So, like, it was like you
Mm-hmm.
had to, and it's hard, like, even for me, like, having to humble myself and being like, oh, I could do that, but it's like, you really can't,
Yeah.
or you're
Yep.
really not supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
That
No,
was
no, you're right. Really can't,
that
because I
was that
couldn't.
was tough.
You know, yeah, it was. It took a toll on my spirit. It took a toll on my energy. It took a toll on my being in this physical form.
And then when
You
people are in the
know.
gym, like, oh, bro, you could do way more than that. What you in here doing? Why you lifting tens? And it's just like, damn, why you attacking me like that? It's just like,
Man, I had the littlest dudes, like, and
like,
it's no shade to them.
bro,
You know, like,
why ain't you benching more? I could bench way more than that.
yeah,
You're
I
like,
mean,
what you, what?
they looking at me look crazy, like, bro in here walking around, you know what I'm saying? He lifted 5, 10 pounds, like, I'll whoop his ass, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it was, like, but, you know, I came to a reality in myself to really block all of that out, you know what I mean? And I started from the ground up again, like, you know, and I'm starting to actually hit certain goals where it's like, honestly, at some point I didn't even think I was gonna hit again. Like I just got under 225 again like a few days ago. Like, and it was like, wow, like I just got cleared to work out again May 2nd of 2023, and it's now July 9th. And
I'm so proud of this man right
yeah,
here.
like, and I'm 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 doing it, you know, and so
You're amazing.
thank you, baby.
You're
You
welcome.
know, as you are as well. You know, I'm
Thanks.
just you're just a mirror reflection of who I am. Or the beauty you see in me is that
In
already
which,
exists in you,
there you go.
you know. But with that being said, I got through the heart failure, and boom, mommy's pregnant again. You know, I know what y'all thinking. I know what y'all thinking. Trust me. This nigga pull out game is weak. But
Listen.
yeah, hey, fuck y'all. No, but yeah, she got
So
pregnant
so
again.
listen. We okay. So we're in the gym. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to get back into bodybuilding. I'm ready to do my thing. But this time I don't want to do bikini. I don't want to lean out so much. I want to do wellness, because if you know me, if you see my legs, I got these wellness legs up in me. So that's another story for another day. But I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready. My mental is there, my mindset is there. I'm ready to do the meals again. I'm ready to be on this journey. Let's do it. What? Not even 2 weeks?
Somewhere around there.
Not even that. Within this whole time frame, my shoulder's messed up.
Yeah.
It's still messed up. I can't lift it
She
more
actually
than this.
messed it up, I think, in February.
I messed
right?
it up a while ago.
Which I had a part in that, which I'm still kicking myself. But
I told him not to do that.
Yeah, I can't help it because I definitely had a part in it.
I was gonna say, you should probably elaborate.
Yeah, we was actually at this gym, which is my second favorite gym in the Berg, Powerhouse, and we were doing a back and shoulders, I believe.
Yeah.
And she was on assisted pull up.
To be fair, sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
To be fair, my shoulder was already messed up.
Correct.
I had already pulled something. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know why. But continue.
That blind trust she has for me is where I was kicking myself at, because she has so much blind trust in me. Like, this was our first time doing like a major back day at Powerhouse, and I didn't adjust the weight that she needed to be the counterbalance for the assisted pull-ups. And I mean, I adjusted it, but I didn't adjust it to the proper weight that it was supposed to be. And I was on autopilot, and listening to my music, going what I was doing, and I'm not making no excuses. I fucked up, and I put it on a weight where I thought that it would suffice, and needless to say, she hopped right up on it, and boom, her first one, it jerked, and when it jerked, it fucked her shoulder up, and it was like,
I'm pretty sure my rotator cuff is torn.
Yeah. Either that or her labrum.
One of the two. I'm hoping I don't need surgery. I'll find out in a couple weeks.
Yep.
But it was just like, it's like back to back to back. If it's not one thing, it's another. And it's like, we started getting in, we linked back up with our trainer, and we're like, all right, we're going to do this.
Dougie Flex.
Do this. Shout out, Doug.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Let's do it. Give the money, do what we got to do. Get the meals. We're focused now. Let's do this. And then, boom, rotator cuff. Now, I went to the urgent care, and they were like, oh, it's just bicep tendonitis. If it's not better in 7 days, follow up with an orthopedic doctor. They're like, I went to the orthopedic doctor. They're like, your rotator cuff is very angry with you. And I'm like, yeah, I should have. But, I mean,
the delivery was trash.
He was like, yeah, you did.
No empathy.
Like, no empathy whatsoever.
Who's these people? Like, who's in charge of these folks? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could deliver a message way better than your rotator cuff is angry with you.
But it's like, I can't do much at all. Like, when I say I can't lift it past here, I can't lift it past here. Everything hurts. I can't do shoulders. I can do a little bit of back. But, like, when y'all see me out here with these big legs,
y'all
mind your business. Because I got these big legs. I can't do nothing else. But in the process of all this, we're like, all right, let's do this. Give the money. I'm like, we're going to focus now. I get pregnant. I said.
She was pissed, too.
I said, I think I'm pregnant again. And he was like, you want to just take a test? And I said, no, because I don't want to waste the money on a test if I'm not pregnant. But I ended up doing it. I went to the grocery store bathroom and took the test. I walked out, and what did I say?
Fucking fertile myrtle.
I'm fertile fucking myrtle.
And she slammed the, well, she didn't slam it down. She gave it to me aggressively. But I think, if I'm going back to that and I'm being honest, I think she was happy, but I think she was also pissed.
Because it's like...
Because it was like...
I've wanted nothing more than to give you a child. I've wanted nothing more than to carry on your legacy. But if the wrong time could be the wrong time, it was right at that moment.
Yeah.
And it was just like, damn. But then in my head, I'll let you continue.
Well,
This is where we're really about to dive in.
I really don't know where her headspace was, but I do know it was not where it needed to be. It was not where she wanted to be. It was that she wanted to be a happy mother, and she wanted to, as she said, continue my legacy and our legacy. But it was like also sacrificing what she was building for again.
It's very like being a mother, you always put yourself last.
Yes.
And it's like we have 6 kids between the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're so used to putting ourselves last. Bodybuilding is a thing where we put ourselves first.
Yep.
And it was just like, I'm ready to put myself first again. I'm ready to get my body where I need to be. I'm ready to get healthy again. I'm ready to do what I want to do. And then it's like, I used to have a bicep at one point.
It was
there.
crazy.
It's there.
It was crazy.
But at one, what was I saying?
Putting yourself last. You was ready to put yourself first.
Yeah, and then as soon as I'm like, all right, well, let's be on it. We eating, chicken, rice, vegetables, salads. We protein, vegetables.
Not really too much salad. Salads was actually our cheat meal. For those that don't know, salads is not really what's healthy for you, so to speak. Like, most people that starting their fitness journey, that's the first thing that they want to run to is salads. And salads is not beneficial for the body, like really at all. But go ahead, baby.
But
salads was our cheat meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
in a way it was healthy, but it was our cheat meal.
Oh, there's a bug on my fingernail.
Yeah, see? That divine feminine
What is that, a spider?
Energy. I don't know what it is. I can't see. My vision is blurry. No, it's not a spider. It does look like one though, but just
it can stay.
Yeah, it can stay. Look at her though. She used to be terrified of bugs. Like when we was in New Orleans, she was holding a grasshopper that was like this big. Like
I pet an alligator.
And she petted the alligator, like, you know what I mean? So like she's come a long way.
Oh, that's a pretty bug.
It is. Yeah. You know what? I got my other phone on me. I'll take a picture of it while we going, just so I can upload
my nails are stained from the makeup
later. Let me see. Zoom in on that bad boy. Snap. Got it.
What was we talking
I got
about?
2 phones.
This is really our relationship, y'all. Like this is really
that's how we do off camera. Where was you at?
I know.
Bodybuilding.
I got pregnant, and I was like, this couldn't be the worst time.
Yeah.
And we both made the agreement.
So yeah, let's dive in. So, all right. So
I just want this bug on my pants instead of my nail.
Here we go. This is where it gets heavy.
So we decided right after we took the test, we got too much going for us. We just spent this on this. We just spent this on this. You got goals. We don't have we have goals. We're trying to buy a house. We're trying to, you know what I'm saying, combine our families into one. And we were just like, it's not the right time. So we made an agreement. We were like,
we weren't going to get attached.
That we weren't going to get attached. We were just going to, I mean, we were just going to get an abortion. It's just what it was. And it was like, it's not what we wanted to do, but we felt like it was what was best for us at that point.
Correct. And so later that night, we actually went out, had some food, right? We went out that night, right?
I think so.
Because we left the grocery store and we had groceries, but we went out that night. We got some food and we got some margaritas. Our go-to is margaritas. As you can see, we're drinking tequila right now. But
and they over there like, you just said you was trying to be healthy and be on your workout shit. Well, you know what?
Fuck y'all.
We have a little tequila every now and then, okay? Yep. Until we prepping for a show.
Yeah.
We're gonna drink some tequila. Now when we in prep, that's a different story.
Yep.
Mind your business. There's a lime in here. That's fruit.
So we decided not to get attached to the baby, and knowing us, like, I mean, given who we are, pouring into people at all times and uplifting people and everything like that, you would definitely be like, damn, y'all contradicting yourselves. Like, and I can see where you would think that at, but it was like, it was like we were focusing on the whole picture, and it was like, okay, we're going to do what we said we were going to do, so that's what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, we were not trying to get connected to this child. And
Naturally.
naturally, that did not happen. And the emotional roller coaster that, we began to go on was like not conducive to who we are as a people. And, if you're not paying those soul ties, like your soul it's I'm not saying everything is already preordained for you, but when you tap in to that inner fabric wiring of what is constructed around us, like we're we're tapped in. So therefore, we were going against the grain when we made this decision. And as I build on this topic, um, what happened was that we had it in our mind that we were not going to go through with this pregnancy. We were going to go ahead and
We don't even like saying the word.
yeah,
So let's just not. Y'all know what the word is.
yeah,
Um,
smortion.
you
And we ended up getting,
wait, you didn't even have to say that.
we ended up well, let's unpack that. So we were having conflict with ourselves because she says I'm beautiful. She tells me every single day that I'm handsome, I'm beautiful, I'm this, that, and the third. And if you guys know me, you know that that's something that I don't really
He has a
fully
beautiful
accept.
soul.
Yeah, I don't really see that. I'll accept, but the cause that I'll accept, but the cosmetic stuff that's on the exterior, like I know fades. So I try to be who I am at all times, like because I don't know what certain folks go through, but I do know you went through something. And when you see me and you're in my presence, that you're going to get me on my best behavior because I'm here to show you that the all exists and it's living through me, and I'm
Facts.
giving that to you every day.
Facts.
And so she constantly tells me how beautiful or how I am.
Anybody
Like,
that knows him knows his spirit, knows his soul. Like, you have an amazing soul. Anybody you touch, everybody that you encounter, whether it be at your job, whether it be
at the gas
just at the
station,
gas station,
like,
you are an amazing being.
thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
And with her saying that, I mean, sorry, you are as well.
Thanks. But I
Because
didn't get
yeah,
that
yeah, I
compliment
know,
you
I
gave me
know,
in
I know,
return.
I know. And sometimes I struggle with that. Like, you guys got to see that organically, but she tells me all the time, and it's like I know these things, and it's like, you know, I'm just
Cute.
choosing to shout out to Ty Matt, you
I ain't
know.
meet you yet, but I'm cute.
um but so moving forward, like, this is who I am, and I'm embracing it,
We're getting off
you
topic.
know. Yeah. And so pulling it back full circle, um we decided to go through with an
The thing,
abortion,
yes.
a smortion.
Um,
And
so I would say what, like a week beforehand. So we had the appointment scheduled. I ended up having to work. So I had to cancel it or reschedule it. A week before that, we were out, getting food. And I was like, I just feel like
this is the one we should not.
this is the one we should
Absolutely.
not terminate, because I feel like all these other ones we wanted so badly and they failed. I feel like this is going to be the one that does not fail. And I asked him multiple times, and I'm not trying to put you on the
No,
spot,
no, you're good.
but I asked him multiple times.
And Mom Dukes called, remember?
His mom called and said, I had a dream. She said, Leandra's pregnant. I had a dream. She was holding what? A
A
baby
baby boy.
with real pretty eyes.
Beautiful eyes, she said.
And this was before I even knew I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, she's not right.
She bugging.
She bugging. And then like a week later, I found out. But I was like, I just have a feeling that this is the pregnancy that's gonna go right. This is the pregnancy. Although we said this is not what we want right now, this is the one that's gonna have no complications, no nothing. We're like, this is the one that'll be the way it's supposed to be. And I said, what do you think? And he said,
nah, we're going to go through with this because we were already not giving this baby of ours the proper energy. And when I say the proper energy, we were once
we were drinking, like we were,
correct.
you know what I'm saying?
Like,
but
it wasn't excessive, but it was times that we were putting negative energy.
I was drinking energy drinks. I was, you know what I'm saying? It was just not like, but then in my head, I'm like, well, I did everything by the book for these last two, and look where that got us.
Correct.
And I know people that, you know, smoke during pregnancy, drink during pregnancy, and their babies end up fine.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't we just take this chance? And I just wanted a fucking, sorry, excuse my language.
Okay.
I just wanted some sort of something, some sort of, I just wanted you to be, some sort of sign that you didn't want to terminate it.
Yeah.
And if you would have given me that sign, I'd be like, all right, cool. Because I didn't want to keep the baby and then he resent me for keeping the baby because we weren't where we wanted to be at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, he didn't give me that sign.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, all right then. And like, he's like, I'm not attached to it, but I am, because this
She's
baby's
Mother Nature.
I'm Mother Nature. This baby's growing inside of me. I feel every emotion. I feel every time I gotta throw up, every time I have a headache, every time my gums start bleeding, everything that goes on with a pregnancy, I'm feeling this. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, well, I don't have no attachment to this baby. And I'm just like, well, all right.
Mm-hmm.
And I battled it for a second in my head, and I was like, well, I'm gonna just meditate on it and really just get to the root and just see, like, if my heart tells me not to do this, I'm not going to do it. But
here we are.
Yep. And on the way to the appointment, he says to me, I feel like we're making a mistake.
Hold on, let's back up though.
Okay.
Because we had,
I really gotta go to the bathroom.
You want me to talk about the breakup while you're gone?
You can talk about the breakup while I'm gone, but okay. I really cannot.
All right, go ahead.
Sorry, this is like real life. This is not staged, and we're drinking a lot of tequila.
Not a lot. You know, we're not over here alcoholics.
This is our third cup.
So basically,
tell them about how you broke my heart.
She would throw. So you see sometimes how that happens. She would throw a shot like that, but I started thinking about, you know, where I am in life, where she is in life, where we are in life, and I felt as though like I wasn't no longer happy as far as I don't want to say success, but I want to say more so I wasn't where I felt as though we needed to be because of decisions that were made, you know, and, you know, her having a previous family, me having a previous family, let's just move that word, family is forever, you know, I don't give a damn, and she's the same way. Like, we take care of our family. That's just what we do. Like, even though I went through heart failure and wasn't able to be where I needed to be at the times I needed to be there, you know, as far as financial or whatever the case may be, like, once I got back on my feet, so to speak, like I literally started to do, like, she'll tell you I send my family money all the time.
Oh my gosh,
What?
I had this mic on while I was going to the bathroom.
Oh, well, we ain't editing.
We need to edit that part out. While I'm up, I'm just going to make sure we're still going.
Okay. We still going?
Yep.
Yep. So with that being said, like, I just wasn't happy where we were going, and
What did I miss?
you just missed me talking about like our previous families, and like me, like not being happy where we were, where I am, where you were, and basically I was like, no, like, cause she had this notion in her head. Well, go ahead. You know what? Talk about the phone situation.
I went through his motherfucking phone.
That's what she did.
Like it's what I did.
Which she had the codes. Like I don't have to hide anything.
It's females do it. Doesn't mean we have the right to do it. Doesn't mean we should do it. I felt an intuition in my head, and he doesn't hide anything from me. Like he said, I have his codes. He has my codes. We don't hide anything from each other, but something in my what?
It's just a spider. Go ahead.
Something in my spirit just was like, let me see what the fuck he's doing in his phone. And not saying he did anything that I didn't like, but he did stuff that I didn't like. You know what I mean? So
she felt as though that I kept things from her. To me, it was so small on the surface, because there are females that are attracted to me, and there's females that I have close relationships with, but like there's nothing there.
And I understand that that's natural. I understand, like, you're an attractive man, and I understand that there are going to be females that you're attracted to, and I understand there are going to be females that are attracted to you. I understand that's human nature. I don't expect you to be attracted to one female for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? We are humans. We are not designed to be attracted to only one person.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that didn't shock me. It's that I'm very open and honest in this relationship.
Correct.
And it's like, I tell them all the time, if you're going to do this, if you're going to talk to this person, that's fine. Just tell me. Don't leave me in the dark. Don't, you know what I mean? Just, keep me, because females are creatures. Okay. Females will talk to him and then look at me like I'm a fool. Like, this girl don't know. This dude's all up in my inbox saying this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, a lot of the time I do know when females are in his inbox. He's very open with me. I know any female he's ever talked to. I know any female he's ever dated. I know any female he's ever had any type of anything with. But it's just like, I felt like in that situation I could be made to be a fool. Like, oh, he got a bitch, but he's sitting here in my inbox. And then they're talking to their friends like, oh, look at this dude in my inbox, but he got a whole bitch at home. Like, I don't like being made a fool of. So, like, if I know what's going on ahead of time, a female can't make me look stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, in that situation, I felt stupid because
your gun wasn't loaded. You didn't have no ammunition.
Exactly.
In case something did come forth, which in reality, nothing came forth. So let's be clear. Crystal clear.
Yeah.
If I was seeking any woman to come into our space, I will let her know first, and that's where I got defensive, because I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, that what I just said. Like, if there's any female that I have any small attraction to, I'm gonna be like, babe.
And he does. He's not lying. Like, he'll be like, babe, I met this girl, she's real pretty. She's your type. She, blah, blah, blah. She does this. She looks like this. She's petite.
Her mental.
Her mental, her spirit. I start at. Her spirit. It's not even about looks. It's about her spirit, and it's about her mental.
Yep.
But, like, he's very open and honest with me. So when I saw that, I'm like, why isn't he being open and honest with me?
With these few that was in there.
And so I called him out on it, and I didn't call him out on it in the right way, because it was just like, I had seen it like weeks ago, and I was just like, it is what it is. I know who we are as a couple, and I know what we strive toward and what our goals are. So I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. And then, like, we were kind of butting heads a little bit. And in that moment, I was like,
she threw it at me.
I threw it at him.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I only threw it at him because he told me I was toxic. He was like, man, you're toxic. And then we started going back and forth. And he's like, I'll talk to you later, and hung up on me.
No, it was before I hung up on you. She started to cut deep, as she can do sometimes.
I did.
She is an alpha female, and I'm not like excusing her for that. But
I said something along the lines.
She was like, "Oh, what, you gonna hang up now? You're not gonna talk to me for a couple of days. You're gonna, do X, Y, Z." And it was like, when you're growing in a relationship, like, I was on the phone, like I was with her. So that wasn't my intentions to get off the phone. That wasn't something that I was going to do. None of those things was true. However, when she kept going, it got to the point where, like, okay, we're not getting anywhere, and you're doing this to make me do this. So in turn, now when I do this, it's like, oh, I knew you was going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? And it was like, it was like, I felt as though like I was in a lose-lose, and I was getting highly annoyed. And she has this thing sometimes, where she'll cut me deep.
Not intentionally though.
Yeah, not intentionally though, but it's something that she will do. And, at the end of the day, it's like, this is not who I am. So you're making me out to be this being that you're building up in your head that I'm going to be. So now I'm going to be it.
At the end of the day, like, when we're about to butt heads, I feel like we can both feel it. I can definitely feel it. I don't know about you.
No, I can feel it.
But I can definitely feel it. And then, like, we get to a point where it's like, I lost my train of thought.
That we're going to butt heads. That it's going to go south.
It's going to go south. And I was trying to get off the phone, and we were kind of butting heads. And then he said, "You're toxic as hell." And I was like, I spent years in previous relationships being called toxic. And this relationship, I'd like to think that I'm not toxic.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? I think that this is a very healthy relationship most times.
Mm-hmm.
And when
definitely 80% of the time.
For sure.
We got our little bit of battles, but yeah, absolutely.
Every relationship does. But like in that moment, I felt like I was back to those old times.
I was bringing her back.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean I'm toxic? Like, you're like, no, you on that toxic shit. I'm like, oh, but when you do this, that, and the third, ABC, 1, 2, 3, you're toxic. And then he was like, I'm gonna just talk to you later. Click. And that's when I just like trigger. It's just like certain things trigger me.
No, actually, it was before that. Remember, I said we're done.
No, you said that after the fact.
Was it?
Yeah, because you was like, oh, I'll talk to you later. All right, bye. And you hung up. Well, you don't say bye, but you said like later. And I was like, what you mean you talk? All right. Well, who you gonna go call? You gonna call this person? You gonna call that person? You gonna go talk to that person? You gonna go do this? You gonna go do that? Because I went through your phone and I seen this, that, and the third, and it was the wrong way to go about it. Because if we have any issues, I should just present them at the time that I'm feeling them. And in that situation, I didn't, because normally I would not care if he would have told me ahead of time, like, hey, I'm talking to this person, like, we're cool, this, that, and the third. But he didn't tell me anything, so I felt like he was keeping secrets from me. And so I called him out on those secrets, but I called him out in the wrong nature. So he was like, this is irreparable.
I did.
We're done. And at that moment, I felt everything leave my body. Everything. And I was like, how do you give up on me that easy?
Yeah.
Like, how
I threw you away.
He almost makes me feel disposable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can you just sit there and just be like, we're done? Don't throw me away like that. We're not a normal couple.
Right.
So like when we have shit going on with us, I feel like we can work through it. Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I tried to make him think, like, if the tables were turned, how would you feel?
And that you can't do that with me, and me just not cutting her wisdom, but like to me, it's like it's not about if the tables were turned or anything like that, because first of all, I already know that's not something she would do. So the tables can't be turned, But in the same sense, I wanted her to see in this part of the conversation we're talking about was I wasn't talking to those females to do anything. It was literally almost networking, pretty much. That's what it was. And
He's a flirt.
I'm not a flirt. She
He
says I'm a
he's
flirt. I'm not a
very
flirt.
he get that
If I
$1 million
tell
smile.
you, what'd you say?
He get that $1 million smile. Like fuck out of here.
Like I don't flirt. Like if I see beauty in something or someone, I'm going to tell you that. But
we
it's
can
not.
see it together.
Yes, well, you see, you hear that? We can see it together.
He wasn't.
And it's like
we wasn't
it
seeing
was
it
so
together.
small, or it was so minuscule that it was not something that I felt as though that was on a grand scale that I had to be like, oh, I was talking to this person and I told this person.
But I feel like that's how a lot of men
are. She was beautiful.
I don't care if you call a female beautiful. I think females are beautiful.
Correct.
I don't care if you say somebody looks nice today or somebody looks good, or I don't care about that. But it's like certain females that I feel like were disrespectful to me, and you're still talking to them. I feel like that's disrespect.
Right.
And I feel like if you're being a little flirtatious, even though you say you're not flirtatious, if you're talking to a female in a certain way that I feel is flirtatious, I feel like I should know that you're talking to this female in this way. So if I see it or when you bring it to my attention, I'm not shocked by it.
Right.
Because I already know this is how you feel.
Right.
I know what I signed up for when I got into this relationship. He, you know what I'm saying? We have this agreement, not agreement. I don't want to say like it's a contract, but I know what he wants. We want to build generational wealth. We want to, we want to have multiple kids, and I understand that the things that you want out of life. But like when I feel like I'm left in the dark, I don't want to be left in the dark.
Which is, let's talk about that, because that's true. Like I should have not left her in the dark, but as you guys know, like I tell her everything under the sun, for one. But when you're getting wrapped up in so many different things and pulled so many different directions, some things you forget. And it's like when you're not thinking like this is something that I should have mentioned, because it's not even something that you thought about. You know what I mean? So it's like it was an honest mistake. Then it was like, then it happened, and then it blew up, and then now it's in your face, because you're not, everything that I do is intentional, and she knows that. Like every single thing that I do it with intent behind it. So nothing is to chance. You know what I mean? And I don't have control over everything, but in the same sense, it's like if I turn right at this light, is because there was a direction I was going towards. You know what I mean? So that's why I did it. You know what I mean? So with that being said, it's like when she was questioning me in this, and it's like, yo, I'm the purest form of being. Like if I consider any one of them to be a sister wife, or any one of them to be a fun time or whatever, I would have told you about it. And I wasn't able to balance with. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I cut you off.
Go ahead.
But that's why, that's why I questioned it, because you are so open with me, and you are so like, if I feel this way about a female, or if I'm looking at a female like this, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be the first one to tell you. So when you didn't, I was like, why is he trying to be sneaky?
Right.
Why is he doing this shit behind my back when we could have fun time together? You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where I was at with it. So I mean, I think it came off. I think if emotions wouldn't have been involved, and we both wouldn't have been annoyed and fed up. I was going through so many emotions with this pregnancy, and like I feel like you have control in a pregnancy, except for when you don't have control, and you think you have control, but then all your emotions are just all at once, and you can feel like you're fine, but you're like really a bitch. or you're really,
A
like
jerk.
a jerk.
Hmm.
I was a bitch and a jerk. So like,
And I was like that too because I was insensitive at that time because remember I said that I wasn't connected to what she was connected to or we was connected
I
to
couldn't help but
because
to be connected
yeah,
to it
she couldn't
because
because it's growing
I
inside
was
of her like
connected. Like I wasn't connected until a certain point, and then I just got connected because I'm eating a salad and I'm throwing up,
hmm
and you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm
it's just
cooking her
like
breakfast, she's throwing up. I'm cooking her dinner on time, she's throwing up.
I'm I
We're
I
going to go eat and she's throwing up.
it's just like
It was just
you're
like constant
connected to
like
this being
it's
that,
happening,
yeah,
you
and it's
know?
just like I can't blame you for not being connected because it's not your body.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's my body.
Hmm. See, there was a joke in there I could have threw out, but I didn't.
Throw it out.
Nah.
Okay. Oh,
But
this.
no, I don't want no more. No more. Daddy, I don't want it no more. Nah. But but yeah, so we broke up.
Mm-mm. He broke up with me.
Yeah, I told her we were
I
done.
was sitting there on my knees. And I don't care. I look desperate. I don't give a fuck. I was on my knees like, Daddy, don't go. Don't leave me.
And
I felt he said that, and he said, this
I
is
said it so,
irreparable.
and
And
I'm
he
not
said it with
one.
such conviction.
Correct. Like I was about to go there. I'm not one. She a lot of times, and this is not me throwing shade at her, but she deals in absolutes sometimes. I deal in degree. And with that being said, is that what I said to her was so definitive. It was like when I told her that this like what was done was irreparable. We're done. I literally meant like we were done. And then I know at that point in time I was angry. I was lashing out, and it was something that I want to say honestly, if I'm being truly honest, like I meant it. Like we were done.
And I
Like
felt it. Like there have been times where we have we don't really argue.
no,
My
we
watch
don't.
is on 10%. We don't
Hmm.
really argue. But this was like we maybe not even a handful of times in this relationship we have had arguments. But this time when he said we're done, I knew that we were done. But I was so numb to what he said, I didn't even feel it until
What a
what day
day
was
left.
that you said that? Was it like a Saturday?
Yeah, I
A
think it was
Sunday
like
or
a
something?
Saturday or something.
I didn't feel it until that next Tuesday when I was at work. It like hit me because I was so like I'm like, all right, well fuck him then. We done then. We done. Like but then like a part of me was like, he doesn't mean that shit. Like we're
Hmm.
not done. Like he's not leaving me. And it was just so many emotions. But then when I was at work and I was sitting in my emotions, I couldn't handle it. And it was just like it was so hard for me.
Hmm.
And I don't care how vulnerable I sound to you guys right now. I literally begged him. I don't care how vulnerable I sound. I begged him. I said, don't give up on me because you're not going to keep disposing of me when we have a hard time. Like, relationships are hard, marriage is hard. Like, we're going to go through things. That does not mean throw me away when we go through these things.
Hmm.
And it was just like, I just wanted him to see that. And he was like, nah, like, not right now. I can't right now. We could be friends though.
And when I said we could be friends, let's be clear. Let's clean that up too, because
That's
when
what I heard.
well, no, I said that. You're right. She's absolutely right. I said we could be friends, but it wasn't. I wasn't saying we could be friends with benefits either, because I wasn't trying to use her. I'm not corny like that. Like I stand on principles, and principles alone is what built me. Like, and I didn't mean we could be friends to have like benefits. I mean we could be friends to get back to whatever it is we were before we grew into whatever we were before that happened.
But he doesn't make that
I
clear.
didn't make that
Like
clear.
he was just like, we could be friends, and I'm like, I can't be your friend. I'm
Yeah.
too invested in you. I'm too in love with you. I want my life with you. My kids love you. My kids call you their dad. Like My kids call you their dad. And it was just like, I cannot just be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've carried
Seven.
6 of your
Seven,
children.
right? No, six.
Or,
Yeah,
I've carried
six.
6 of your children. And it's just like, I can't just be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, we can go back to how we were when we first started. And I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I can't.
And
That's
that's what
not
I
an
wouldn't
option.
accept, because I'm like, you only got me because of the strength that you had. And it was like when she lost sight of her strength, it pissed me off.
It's
Like,
hard to
honestly,
it's hard
because
to keep sight. Sorry.
yeah, it's like I felt as though that she was giving up, in a sense of like, you're not remembering who you are. You know what I mean? So if you're not remembering who you are, like, how am I supposed to see you as this grand mommy ma'at, balance, refuge, peace, lioness that you are?
But do you know how
Because
hard that is?
no, I'm not saying it ain't. I'm saying for where I was.
Yeah.
Like, I began to dive into your perspective. Like, I mean, obviously I can't totally be in your shoes and see your perspective from your point of view, but like, I started to empathize with that and see it from a different angle, where it was like, now I get it. You know what I mean? And that happened came after we ended up in that room and getting the smorshing.
So when we got the shmush,
Let's
it's
let's
not
build up
funny.
to that. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
but
But
like, okay, so like I said, when we pulled up, like a block before we pulled up, he was like, I think we're making a bad idea. And I said, well, what do you want to do? And in my head, I should have just said, I
what you
don't want
should
to
have
do
said,
this.
yeah.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I want this baby. If we have to go through this and the baby's heart stops beating again and we have to go through another failed pregnancy, I'll do that.
So be it.
So be it. And I was like, at least we're not as attached as we were to the other two or the other five, that it it won't affect us as much. But I looked at him and I said, what do you want to do? He said, I don't know. And then he pulled up and dropped me off and went to park. I wanted him to just be like, all right, let's go home. And that's what I was looking for, and that's what I didn't get. And I was like, all right, well, I guess we're doing this. Went through the whole motions, you know, the whole, I don't know who, like, if you've ever had an abortion, you know the procedure. So we get to the part where we're getting ready to get the procedure done. And,
She's stripped
you know, the whole
and
thing,
she's in front of
the
me
doctor's in there,
and
and
she's naked
she's about to put the thing, about to
and
numb me with the medicine.
I'm holding her hand
And
because I still love her dearly, and I'm sitting there holding
oh
her
yeah, we're
hand.
broken up at this
We're
point.
still broken up at this point. You know what I mean? We're like a week into the breakup, right?
Not even a week. This was like 2 days.
No, this was
Yeah, because
longer
this
than
was a
that.
Saturday.
Yeah, and we had the conversation on the phone. It was a Saturday.
No.
It had to be, because remember, or it was a Sunday, because remember, it was Tuesday when you was feeling your feelings that you just said. So
No. It was like a Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. It was like a Thursday, and we ain't talked. Wait,
I'm
no,
telling you, it was like Sunday,
we
and
ain't go that
then
long,
yeah, we did.
did we?
Yeah, we went almost like a full week.
I
Yep.
don't remember
I'm
that.
telling you, like, rewind this. Remember, she said we had the conversation on a Saturday. I said we were done, or
I
it was
think it was a
Sunday.
weekday. I think it was a
Yeah.
weekday after work.
Well, I work every day except
I think it
Sunday.
was a weekday. I think it was like the Friday you went to work, I went to work, we didn't talk. And then the Saturday you was like, well, what time is it tomorrow? All
Oh
right,
well,
I'm gonna
yeah,
come
that
get you.
yeah, but we had already out when I said we're
I don't think we
done.
had been broken up.
I think it was like 5
I'll go
days.
get the red receipts. I'll go get my phone out of the cabin right now and read the red receipts. He's wrong.
I could be.
I'm right a lot.
She is.
But,
Now let's be clear, she is.
he pulled up, dropped me off, went to go
I'm
park.
right a lot too, though.
He is.
I'm correct a lot. She might be right in the sense of direction.
Oh, don't go with that.
I'm correct as far as
Anywho,
actual.
he dropped me off, and I went up there, bebopped up there, and got the whole. It was like the doctor was in there about to go on with the procedure, and he was like, hold on, can we get a minute? Is it too late? And she was like, no, it's not too late. And he was like, can we have a minute? And they were like,
They start talking to her
it's up
as
to
if
you.
I
What do
didn't
you
even
want?
exist, and I was about to
Well,
get pissed.
because this is the thing. A lot of people that go into there, we didn't belong in there.
We didn't.
It was like people that go in there are people that, slipped up one time, or people that aren't a couple. Like, we are
Or
trying
whatever
to,
the circumstance
we're growing and we're
is.
building, and whatever the circumstances, we did not belong in there. But they asked me, they were like, well, what do you want to do? I said, yeah, we could have a minute.
I was about to be like, yo, what the fuck you mean what she want to do?
But
like,
they didn't know
that's where the toxicity was about to come out
they
of
didn't
me.
know they didn't know he's my husband. Like,
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck what they
the
knew
situation.
or didn't know.
I let him have his moment.
I was about to puff up.
I let him feel his feelings. But they exited the room, and he was like, what do you want to do? And we weren't together at this point. And I was like, I'm not having another child.
If I'm being honest, I felt as though that I don't do well with ultimatums. I don't do well with absolutes. But this is the moment in time, if I could get it back, where I needed to be absolute. If I'm being 100% honest. And when she laid out what she laid out to me, it was almost as if there was some sort of ulterior motive that it didn't sit well with me. And when that happened, like, it became an absolute moment where I should have been absolutely absolute and what needed to be definitive, and I didn't. And I felt as though at that point in time, it was like, okay, this decision is happening. We're going to make it together. And I don't know where we're going to be after this, but after this, I knew, like, I didn't want her out of my life. And that's what I meant as her still being a friend, because at the end of the day, if I'm being honest, dealing in degree as such as what I do, is there's still room for opening. There's still room for growth. There's still room to get back or to get forward where we need to be. You know what I mean? And whether, I tell her all the time is an illusion. Like, it's not real. So what is happening or taking place in this sort of moment, whatever is taking place, we can get forward together where we need to be. Whether it's, I know I'm about to talk in times and it's like riddles, but whether it's 2 months later or 1 year later or even 5 years later, if we remember, meaning putting ourselves back together, gathering ourselves, like, we can really,
like, dismember and remember.
correct.
He just taught me something.
We can be strong again, and then it'll be so much more worth it, because we went through something. And that's why it was like, I didn't want to tell her, because I knew where she stood, but she couldn't see my process and my thinking of where we were at the time. And it was like,
there was a lack of communication.
and it was happening too quick.
I was being very selfish, because I said to him, I said, I don't want another baby's dad. I have multiple. You know what I mean? All of his children are to one woman. Mine aren't. So it was just like, I'm not going to be like, you're the person I'm supposed to be with for the rest of my life. And I'm not going to feel that feeling bringing another child in this world, and I'm not with the dad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I could think of in that moment. I was being selfish. I wasn't thinking about the child. I wasn't thinking about anything. And I was, in the back of my mind, I was thinking about how you did not want the baby, per se. How you were
from the beginning.
Yeah, and how you were like from the beginning that this isn't what we want. This is like, we just agreed to do all this. We just paid this money for this. We're back on our shit. We're doing this. We're doing that. And that's all I could think about. And I was like, no, like, so I was like, I looked at him and I said, if you feel like there's any inkling that you want to be with me, then I won't get rid of this baby. I said, do you want to be with me? And he said, I don't know. And I was just like, in my head, I'm like, how could you throw away? And that's what I meant when I said he just disposes of me, because like, you could just throw me away and not look
Mm-hmm.
back. And it was just like, that hurt so bad. And I was like, okay, well, I let him make the decision. And he was like,
The
the
tears started to flow.
manager came in and she was like, is everything okay? And and he's like, we're gonna go through with it. And I'm like, all right. The moment everything started, it was when I felt regret. I don't know when he felt regret, but
Well, I'll tell you, and holding her hand and watching her pain and me feeling the pain and seeing life being sucked through a tube. If you guys never experienced anything like that, I felt broken. And as in tuned as I am with her, as in tuned as I am with nature, seeing life sucked out of her, and that moment when she gasped, like there's a gasp that she does when it's a beautiful gasp, and I ain't gonna go into that, but
I didn't know. I gasped.
yeah, she gasped in certain ways, like when we're experiencing something else of nature, and then when this
You talking
gas,
about?
yeah, I'm talking
Okay.
about that gas.
Okay.
This gas happened. It fucking broke me, like almost broke me, and I was already teary eyed, but then the tears literally started to flow where I couldn't hold them back, but I also couldn't look at her. I tried to shield myself or
It's funny
hide.
because I couldn't look at you either. You notice I was looking
Uh
at
huh.
the nurse the whole
Mm-hmm.
time.
And I kept wiping her tears with a Kleenex, and then when it was all over with, everything was all said and done. This was the kicker. The nurse said, "Okay, when I'm gonna leave the room, you go ahead and get your clothes on." And she said to me, she said, "Sir, you're going to go right and she's going to go left." And that's when I felt the separation in what was done. Like it was done. And I already felt that when I seen the mess go through the tube and the blood and everything. Like I literally wanted to burn the world in that moment. And when the lady said what she said, "You're going to go right, we're going to go left." When I went right and I walked down that hall, the hall was maybe about 7 to 8 yards from the lobby or the waiting room. And I literally felt like it was an eternity walking down that hall, and I couldn't look back. I couldn't, to where she was going this way behind me. And when I got to the lobby, all I could do was hang my head. And when I tell y'all how much the tears started to flow and drop on the floor in front of me, like I couldn't lift my head, I couldn't look at the screen, I couldn't grab my phone, I couldn't look at the other people that was in the waiting room. Like it was really reminiscent of when my my closest friend died. I just couldn't help it. Like, and I mean, you talking about letting the tears flow, like they just dropped and I couldn't stop. And I wanted to stop, and it was just like I couldn't. And that was the first time in my life of being broken. Like I let her go through what she went through, and I felt like I was a failure. Like,
And it was because the other two times we had to go through the same procedure, but it was because we had to.
right,
It was like because the baby didn't have a heartbeat or because there were no babies in the sack, but this time we made that decision.
right.
And it was like no turning back.
No turning back. It was absolute. It was definitive. It was, you know, we committed the ultimate one of the ultimate sins that I feel as though, because not saying getting an abortion is a sin, so to speak, but it's like if you knew that you didn't want to go through with that and you made that decision, it was like going against who you are, who you're supposed to be, who literally you are. And we sent our baby to the ancestors before the baby was ready. We made that decision. We robbed ourselves of that. And I was fucked up. I was hurt. And she was hurt. And on our descent home, I held her hand the whole ride home, and you know, the tears flowed from her eyes, and I didn't want to cry in front of her. I was trying to be this
He was
person.
being prideful.
Yeah, I was literally trying to like show her, like, not that it didn't matter, but I was just not trying to be vulnerable. And then that's corny. Like, no, it is like, and then I dropped her off, and then she walked to the door, and I drove off. The tears started to flow again from me, and it's like, why can't you just be this person? I mean, I cried in front of her in there. She seen me drop tears, but it wasn't. She didn't see me fully do it. She seen them stream down my face, not like literally, where your lip turn and everything, like
how mine is doing
right
right
now.
now.
That started to happen, and then I sent her that Ed Sheeran song, Photograph, and I was listening to that song back to back to back to back to back to back to back for the next few days, and my sons were with me, or the boys were with me, and they were tired of this song, like,
Dad. Dad, why do you keep playing that song?
and it's like I couldn't explain to them to the point where they would know why I'm playing this song, and it's like,
And that's the thing. You have to. We're
yeah,
going through this shit, and we still have to be parents. Like we still have to act like we're okay. And
we have to live, and with that being said, like,
it's one of my biggest regrets.
I try not to live life with regrets, but if there was ever a time, that was one of them. And you know, like, literally living that experience, and that you feel alive, but you also feel dead.
And it's like it's crazy because for me, um, I want to be pregnant again. Although, like the whole time I was pregnant, I was miserable, and it's just like it's crazy how much of a hold pregnancy and a child has on you and has on your mind and has on your body. Because when I was pregnant, I didn't mind being pregnant, but I'm like, oh, I'm tired of being morning sickness. I'm
Yeah,
tired of throwing up or feeling
I can't
sick
work
throughout
out.
the
My
day. I
shoulder
can't work
hurts.
out. Not only does my shoulder hurt, but I can't even eat to be able to have
I can't
fuel to
even
work
sleep
out.
because of
I
my
can't
shoulder.
sleep. It's just like all these things are going on. It's like I can't work out. I can't. Like my stomach hurts. I can't do core. My stomach crampy. I feel sick. I can't do core. I can't do shoulders because my shoulders fucked up.
Right.
But I want your baby. You know what I mean? I want to give you a baby. And like I'll go in this fucking
Can't.
cabin right
Mm-hmm.
now and try to give him a baby. It's just crazy.
Not crazy.
I mean,
I know what
it's
you
crazy
mean.
how the mind works.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was pregnant, I was like, "Nah, this isn't what we want right now. We want to body build. We want to get back where we was. We want to
Mm-hmm.
we want to do this. We want to do that. Like this
She want to
wasn't.
do that thing with her arm. You know. You
That's
know.
what you do.
I mean, you
I
do
do
it too.
that
You do the
pose.
flutter thing, Yeah, you know.
But it's just hard
Yeah.
because it's like I was pregnant and I was like, I don't want this. And now I'm not pregnant and I'm like, I want this. And it's like,
So we said all of that to say
we about to make a baby.
we forward. We ain't back. We forward. And this new divine energy that we connected upon.
Yeah, he realized he made a mistake and he said, I don't want to leave you. I'm gonna be with you forever.
I said that. I definitely said that. I mean, this woman has she brings out the best in me, and she
Ditto.
also brings out the worst in me, but she brings out the balance as well. So when we're encompassing the
I bring out the
all,
worst in you to make you better.
correct. I was getting there.
I just want to
I
throw
was
that
like
in there.
I was giving the circle, when we're encompassing the all and what we have. Like the all is not always 100% good, and it's not always 100% bad. The all is literally the all. Like, so you're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to go through forwards and reverses. You're going to go through back, right, left, north, south, east, west. But in that news bar, and
I
that,
can't. That's like the third time you said that.
and,
Bar.
and that direction in which we choose to travel, like, she encompasses the all, and relationships are difficult. They're not hard, they're difficult, they're challenging, but if you chose to be with the right being, they are going to get the worst you, like, and that's what's real, because at the end of the day, like, I can give the world my life, I could give the world the positivity, you know what I mean, and I could give them all the above, but at the end of the day, she's who I sleep with. So she's going to get the side of me that y'all don't see, and the side of me that y'all don't see, she shoulders that. She puts that on her back and carries it, because I'm not a bad guy off the screen or anything like that. Like, she'll tell you herself, like, otherwise she probably wouldn't even be sitting next to me right now. But in the same sense, like, she's gonna get the side of me that's like she shouldn't get, because it's like, but if she didn't get it, whew,
Y'all would.
you know? And it's like that side of me that she gets, like, just be glad that she's strong enough. I want to say that she
At the
just
end
be
of the
glad
day,
enough, like,
no matter what side I get, I think you're perfect. It doesn't matter how you feel about yourself. I think everything about you is perfect and perfectly perfect.
imperfectly perfect.
Yep.
Ashe.
Ashe.
So we're gonna cut the video now.
Because we're going to go drink some more tequila and we're going to have some food because I haven't eaten since like 9 o'clock this morning.
Correct. I ate at the same time
Oh,
you
wait,
did.
what time did we eat? Oh, no. Yeah, what time was it? It was like 10.
And it's 6:30 now down there.
We hungry.
So I'm gonna leave y'all with a little bit of this though.
I'm a bear.
I'm
I'm a
in
bear.
bear as we are in the campground. I almost turned the camera around like this was the one I was recording from.
Do you want to go on a hike?
If you want to.
I want you to go on a hike. I mean, I want you to want to go on a hike.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it if you want to.
You said I want you to want to go.
I want to.
Damn!
Jeez. You see what I'm saying? Man, we about to be... Nah, I'm joking.
Loving can hurt. Loving can hurt sometimes.
I gave you my cup on accident because it got the burn mark.
But it's the only thing that I know. When it gets it's hard. You know it can get hard sometimes. It is the only thing that makes us feel alive.
This is that part right here.
We keep this love in a photograph.
I was actually going to show the photo, but nah, it's a bit too much.
Go get it.
Time's forever frozen. That's for us. So you can keep me
inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone.
I love you.
I love you too. Wait for me to come home. That's it. That's it.